Hey everyone, welcome back to another High Guardian Spice review. Today we're reviewing episode 7. Congratulations, you made it this far. There is a little bit of plot in this episode. You know, just a little smidge, just something to whet your taste buds. Arguably, there should have been more plot in other episodes, but... So this episode begins with them being sent off, and we have, no context to where they're going. We just have to listen in to the character dialogues to explain that they're going to a cave on an adventure as part of their class, I guess. And then later on, when they arrive at the cave, the teacher is there to explain what the heck they're doing there. Really, the scene should have been reversed. I would have preferred it if perhaps they were in class, like, what are we gonna do today? And the teacher then explained that they were going to a field trip to a cave to collect the healing water from the cave, and then we get the send-off scene. But what do I know? So yes, the teacher explains when they're right in front of the cave that they are going to be exploring the cave to find these healing water springs. They're going to collect a vial of healing water. If you have to ask for help while in the cave, you're expelled from school completely. So basically, they're incentivizing you to not ask for help. Yes, remember that speech where they were like, oh, you have to give up your lives for the academy, otherwise you're not fit to be a guardian. Such a great school! And sure enough, our main characters do run into trouble where they desperately need help, but they can't ask for help because they don't want to get expelled! Anyway, going forward into the episode, they do reach a well that should have healing waters, but it's all dried up. And then these humongo crab monsters, like the ones that we've seen in episode 3, I think, come out, and they're all evil and big. And they're like, what? But the crabs shouldn't be evil. And then they fight the crabs, who bleed red blood, you know, like real crabs. It's totally natural looking. And then we get this scene where there's a giant queen crab right above Rosemary, and she tells Sage to shoot it. And Sage is like, no, the big crab will crush you because it weighs like 2 tons and you weigh like 20 pounds. To which Rosemary says, no, no, no. If I stab the crab, that will instantly make it weightless and save me from getting crushed. And Sage is like, okay then. So yeah, that's what Rosemary does. She stabs the queen crab as it's falling on her. For some reason, that prevents her from getting crushed. And I actually did not notice this. I watched this episode twice, and I didn't notice it until my third watching of the episode, or of this scene in particular. At first, it looked like she just had an explosion in her rib area, but what actually happened was the crab awkwardly sliced her in that area as it fell onto her sword. I thought the crab was just flailing its legs around randomly, but no, it was a clean, precise cut with its claw that slices open Rose's side rib. It was so quick and hard to see that even the other characters did not see it, and Rose pretends that she was not hurt at all during this fight. Now, conveniently, there's only one spot to escape from, and the crabs roll the rocks in front of the little crack in the wall where they escape from. So they are forced to go off the map into the lower levels of the cave. So they don't know where they're going, but they figure that they'll keep looking for that healing water. You might as well, you know, pass the assignment.
You're our morale, except louder and so much more gassy.
During this whole time, Rose is pretending to not be hurt and hiding her wound from everyone. Now, some of you might be asking, wait a minute, wasn't Sage introduced as a healer? Why doesn't she just heal Rose with her fucking magic? Doesn't she have a terror sphere now, which can do anything? Well, apparently it can do anything except that. So they do manage to find another well, which is also dried up, and there is no healing waters. At this point, Rose collapses and begins to die. And that's when they realize, shit, she was bleeding from her ribs this whole time. Sage suggests that they contact the teachers regardless of getting expelled because Rose clearly needs some medical attention. And everyone else is like, nah, it'll be fine.
Sage, I'm fine. I asked you to drop the trapper on me.
While they're in this room with the dried up well, they meet a character called Buckles, who comes out of nowhere and demands that they answer his riddle to get his treasure. This is a very weird, disjointed scene that like just barely connects to the rest of the episode. So like the answer to his riddle is that there's 4 of him instead of 1 of him, but they couldn't figure that out. They just assumed that he was teleporting around the room the whole time. I don't know. Anyway, he gives them a dragon egg and then they leave. They manage to find an actual healing water well that is full, and they get Rose's unconscious body to drink the water. Because yes, you should definitely give an unconscious person water. That'll help. I was expecting them to pour it on her wound, but no. Rose is healed, but upon healing her, it awakens these 2 diamond guardians, and none of their weapons can destroy the guardians, so they are able to kill them by getting them to smash into each other. But now the corpses of the dead diamond guardians are blocking the doorway, and they're stuck here.
Looks like we're all going to die here after all.
Nah.
Now, instead of trying to find another way out or ways to remove the giant dead corpses from the doorway, you know, with maybe a magic staff that can do anything, instead they decide to just wait around for help and play Truth or Dare. And they play Truth or Dare for 3 whole minutes until the scene continues. I will say at the end of the Truth or Dare, they finally like have some characterization. Time opens up to everyone and explains the reason why she wants the healing water so badly is because the woods where she came from is being destroyed by the rot, and she was hoping that the healing water could heal the woods from the corruption and scary, spooky ominousness. Her mother won't let her stay in the woods anymore. Instead, she moved her to Lingarth to join the academy, and she wants to get back to her daddy in the woods, basically.
I hate it when feelings come out of my face.
And after all this is explained, Parsley is like, hey, we have a dragon egg, by the way. You want to, like, do something with this? So then Sage explains how the healing waters work. She says that the healing waters have the ability to move time forward for someone, which is kind of odd because usually, you know, healing waters do the opposite where they move time backwards. It's kind of like the Fountain of Youth type thing where people use healing waters to make themselves younger, or at least that's how it is in other media that has healing waters. You're like reversing the wounds that you suffered from. But in this version, they're moving time forward so that I guess the wounds heal themselves with time instead of killing you? I guess that would be an interesting exchange if every time you used healing water to heal yourself, you would become older and, you know, shave a year off your life or something. But, you know, she tries to explain this in such a rushed way, and I don't even think that the writers thought that far into it. So anyway, they just smack the dragon egg down into the healing waters, and then it grows into an adult dragon, which digs them out of the cave and lands them in front of the academy. But as it's landing, it begins to decay and grow older and older until finally just being bones, which is kind of messed up that they straight up killed this dragon by forcing it to age rapidly. But the way that they approached showing us this is so derpy. Like, the dragon is literally all bones. He turns to the rest of them and says, in the dumbest sounding voice possible,
I'm okay.
and then explodes. What did I just watch? Anyway, so they go back to the one tree that Neppy Cat was at, and he's still there, kind of guarding the tree, and we can see that the rot has taken over the tree mostly. So she does a little tappy tap with the healing water to see if it will heal the tree, and it works. And then their takeaway from this is maybe the cause of the rot is because the magic is fading in the earth. As they leave, we realize one of the black cats is actually a woman who had disguised herself, and she's working for an evil organization. So she used this smoky cloud phone to contact her superior and explain to them that these girls are unraveling the secrets. To which the smoky cloud tells her to get rid of the girls. And she's like, what? Are you telling me that this evil organization that I'm a part of wants me to kill people? Oh, I only help people kill people. I don't do the killing. That's just preposterous. But yeah, they say it's either them or you, girl. Get to fucking work. You signed up for this evil organization. You should know what you're getting into here. And that's where the episode ends. At the very least, they're trying to introduce plot, right? I feel like all of this plot could have been introduced a lot earlier, and I don't think that the show would have suffered at all from it. But part of me feels like they wanted to go a more casual Steven Universe-y route with this show, rather than trying to think too much. Which is whatever. I'll say this much, I do like Olive and how they treat Olive a lot more than Catra from She-Ra. I guess the ongoing joke is that the villains are way better than the main characters. And yeah, they're better, but they're still not really that good. But we'll get further into that when we get to the next episodes, which start to get a little more plot heavy. Until finally they're like, man, we gotta wrap up this plot. We only have 2 episodes left. Leave a like on the video if you did enjoy. Leave a comment down below your own thoughts, critiques, things that I missed. And I'll see you guys for episode 8. Till then, guys. Bye!
Program restart.